Hey everybody, Tom Barnes, Stories from the 78 here in Ravenswood. And did you know that Chicago has a Malt Row? Yeah, right here on Ravenswood. In Ravenswood, Malt Row, about 7 different breweries and distillery. I'm out here at KOVAL right now. We're gonna go on a little tour and I'm gonna talk to my friend Gene all about the experience that is Malt Row in Chicago and why you should come check it out this summer. But it's happening now for this story from the 78. All right, so this is the final stop inside the KOVAL tasting room. I'm here with my friend Gene. How you doing?
Hey, thanks for coming by. Good to see you.
Absolutely. We're daring in doing the interview after we've had all the drinks this evening.
Yes.
But we did our duty and diligence as Chicagoans to walk Malt Row and sample some of the things. For those who don't know Malt Row, let's see your fancy hat, because you got a Malt Row hat on there. Look at that. That's fantastic. I'm sorry, Gene. You're with the Chamber.
Yes. With the Greater Ravenswood Chamber of Commerce, and we are the stewards of Malt Row, which is a craft brewing community on Chicago's north side, mostly in the Ravenswood neighborhood.
And so, how many breweries are along Malt Row and distillery? Because KOVAL is a distillery, and I heard some crazy stat that within 1 mile radius, it's the most concentrated breweries or in the world, the United States. I'll let the Chamber guy tell.
I can't speak to the world, but I know we have 7 breweries plus KOVAL Distillery here. Another brewery that is currently in the neighborhood looking to open up its own dedicated public space soon, so we'll be up to 8. Plus a world-class first post-prohibition distillery in Chicago here at KOVAL. There's also a winery on Malt Row, and we are also the world headquarters of Cicerone Certification Project, which will be like your sommeliers for beer.
Wow, what's the winery on Malt Row?
VIN312 Winery is right there at Lawrence and Ravenswood, next door to Cultivate by Forbidden Roots Tasting Room and Restaurant, right across from the Ravenswood Metra station.
So, why Ravenswood? How did Malt Row become a thing here? Is it just the good bones of a neighborhood?
Good bones is a really good way to put it. We have a 100-year-old industrial corridor here, which means we've got some great building stock and a lot of the friendly zoning and infrastructure that these breweries need to operate. And so starting with the craft beer boom in Chicago a couple of years ago and sustaining through the pandemic, we've seen a pretty healthy community of craft brewers and distillers calling this neighborhood home.
Yeah, it's very cool and it's very walkable. The Brown Line kind of runs up and down it. The Metra runs up and down. I don't know if you can really get off the Metra though when you get on at a certain spot within Ravenswood.
Yeah, you can get off right at Lawrence and Ravenswood. That's one of the busier stops on Metra's line, and it puts you right across from Cultivate's tap room.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That's what. But you can't like take the Metra and go further south on Malt Row.
No,
right?
That Metra stop at Ravenswood's your one stop.
Yeah. Or otherwise the Brown
Row,
Line.
But you can always pick up beer from Malt Row, hop on the Metra, and drink it on your way to Ravinia.
That is true. Yeah, absolutely. And you guys have a lot of events that you do throughout the year. You have a big one coming up in July, right?
Yeah, we do a few small ones called Malt Row Hoppy Hours that are educational events that take place at different breweries on different themes. And then in July, the whole community comes together to throw a festival called Ravenswood on Tap. It's a craft beer and music focused festival. All the beer brewed at the festival served at the festival is brewed within a mile of it. We have cocktails out on the street from KOVAL, and then an incredible lineup of local musicians.
And for folks that want to learn more about it, or perhaps they're interested in starting a brewery of their own, I mean, I'm guessing the Chamber would be a good spot to start.
Yes, if you're
in terms of space
if you're interested in learning more about the breweries, you can visit ravenswoodchicago.org, and we've got some incredible resources for planning a trip on Malt Row. If you're interested in starting a brewery, we've obviously got some experience helping people launch successful businesses. There's also an incredible award-winning homebrew store in Ravenswood called Gnome Brew. They work pretty closely with Malt Row, and you can even go there and get recipe kits so that you can brew a Malt Row beer recipe at home.
And do you guys have like the little Malt Row, it's like a map, almost like a self-guided tour of Malt Row people can pick up?
If you visit that website, ravenswoodchicago.org, we've got some tour itineraries and maps and information for how to plan your trip around Malt Row. If you're coming in for a long weekend, there's some recommendations on where you can stay, where you can eat, where you can shop and have fun when you're not tasting.
And right now we're at the end of our tour, and I'm just going to slide over a little bit. Come with me for a second.
All right.
What are they handing out right now? Because we're at KOVAL, and they're handing out something I sampled earlier that I didn't know they had, but what is this magical drink that everybody's talking about having here?
So we're drinking cranberry spritzes made with KOVAL's cranberry gin. So that is a botanical forward gin that has cranberries processed
right here,
into
right?
it. It is a killer ingredient for a summer spritzer cocktail, having cranberry in it. It's also quite nice around the holidays in a hot toddy. You really can't go wrong. It is a lazy mixologist's dream.
It really, and I had a little sample and it's fantastic. Gene, thank you so much for giving me that information. And again, the website for people who want to learn more about Malt Row, maybe walking tour map and the whole thing.
Yeah, it's ravenswoodchicago.org. We really appreciate you coming out and hope to see you on Malt Row.
All right, cheers, my friend. Thanks.
Cheers.
All right, that is the story from the 78 here in Malt Row at KOVAL. TomBarneyChicago@gmail.com if you have a story from the 78, or head over to the website storiesfromthe78.com. And on cue, it is right along the Metra train that Gene was talking about, stopping over at Lawrence. You got to come check it out. There's a lot of fun things. I think he said 7 with the 8th opening up this summer. So come on down. Enjoy the neighborhood. Thanks a lot, everybody.